Call a regular city council meeting Monday, February 11th, 2013 to order. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Alderman Putoff.
Here.
Hank-Kawitz.
Here.
Ferrari. Waldorf.
Here.
Lukosius. Perez.
Here.
Radke.
Here.
Mazak.
Here.
Mayor Harrell.
Here. Pledge of allegiance. Let's see, there's no one here for presentation. Do we have any public comment?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Do we have a motion to receive the regular meeting minutes of January 28, 2013 and February 6, 2013 and place on file?
So moved, Your Honor.
I have a motion by Alderman Putoff, second by Alderman Hank-Kawitz to receive the regular meeting minutes of January 28, 2013 and February 6, 2013 and place on file. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. We'll move to committee reports. Accounts and Finance, Alderman Putoff, Alderman Radke.
First item, Your Honor, is present to the City Council total disbursements for February 13th of the year 2013. The disbursements total is $1,492,840.93. I'd like to make a motion that the report be placed on file, the bills paid in the usual manner.
Second.
I have a motion by Alderman Putoff, second by Alderman Radke to receive the disbursements and the bills be paid in the usual manner. Is there any discussion? Have a roll.
I have a question about the expenses for the BB gun range.
To what's that? I'm sorry.
About the BB gun range.
Yes.
Are those expenses going to be reimbursed through the police?
Some of them are through,
donated?
there's some donation. There's some that will go through the drug fund, and then there's some that will go through our general fund. And the reason some of it will go through our general fund is that it's a piece of our property that's going to be there as long as this building's going to be here, and it can be used for many other things. But some of it, to answer your question, Treasurer can give you a breakdown on it. Did you want to elaborate on that at all, Treasurer?
No, I had a meeting with one of the other aldermen prior to tonight's meeting, and as I told him, I said, I'm still trying to sit there and determine all of the numbers. And what I mean by that is I've sat down with Michelle at Doug's office, and we've got a pretty good grip on it. But the thing is, until I sit down with Doug, I really can't tell you what the final number is going to be yet.
And I just had a couple of questions, Your Honor. Under disbursements, page 3 of the Water and Sewer Fund, Illinois Valley Excavating, the second item is says power plant for $8,612. What would that be for?
I believe that, didn't they suck the media out of or something out of the tanks?
Yeah, that was for the old filters that were at the water plant there. The media potentially had radium left in it from when they were in operation, and the proper thing to do with that would be to suck it out and put it on site, which we have it stored at the wastewater treatment plant, and I think we analyzed it. I haven't seen the results yet, but once we can determine the actual level of the media, if it's below the magic number of 200, I believe, 200 picocuries, we can go to a landfill with that. So.
Okay. And then with the power plant, we're at $77,000 so far. Is that going to be I believe we're over what the bid was on that. Is that pretty much what we're going to be paying? Is that the total, or will there be more expenses?
We approved it on the floor, $155,000 and some change, rounded off to $156,000.
So we're still looking at the same?
We're still at half, and at this moment, that's correct. Except for the EPA, the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency mandate after the bid was let, that they found more lead in the paint. In their mandate, they told us and all the contractors that they could dump in a normal dump site, which happened to be the contractor's dump site who received the bid. And then after it was all said and done, they changed their mind. So that is going to cost us an undetermined amount, probably in the range of $25,000 to $40,000.
Okay. Thank you. I have nothing further on it.
Any further discussion from anyone else? Have a roll call vote. Clerk, call the roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Hank-Kawitz.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mazak.
Aye.
Motion approved.
Next item of business, Your Honor, I'd like to present to the City Council the audit. Before we go for a roll call vote to accept it, I wanted to give the floor to the city treasurer a few minutes to give us some recaption of which we find a very positive audit.
One of the questions I think that many people have when they look at the audit, which is probably, I want to say 82 pages long, is what are the most important things that they should be looking at. And so what I've done is just give you just a little general review in the page numbers, and some of the information that I think that as an alderman I would be very interested in seeing. You always like to know where your ending cash is for the year. You always like to know what your equity is. Also like to know what kind of money you've made. And if you go down to the little area that the third item down, which says Audit Report, page 5, Citywide Statement of Activities, that's basically your profit and loss. And what it does is it breaks it up by two categories. It gives you your governmental funds, which showed a profit of about $1.4 million for last year, and your business type activities that showed a profit of about 1.6. There's a lot of things that go into these numbers before they net them out. But the key thing is, one of the more important things that we always need to look at is the health of the general fund. I don't know how many times, we've been in contact with Moody's about our bond rating, and I would say 90% of the time that we spend with Moody's on a conference call is how healthy is your general fund. You have to remember the numbers we're looking at are from April 30th, 2012, and this was the first year that we really recovered from the recession here. But the general fund, based on the audited numbers, had a profit of about $757,000, which is very, very good. The next page, I always like to see what are the adjustments that they're doing in the governmental funds. In other words, has the profit been caused by borrowing money? Has it been paying money off? How's it made? And these are all of the adjustments that the auditors have made, from the receivables down to the bottom two categories, debt repayments of $892,000 and debt proceeds of about $315,000. I think you have to remember, in that particular fiscal year is when we sold the Mirror Building. And this reflects a lot of what happened in that particular case. The rest of it I think is important, but I'd go down to the part that says Audit Report, page 12, because what you always want to look at is how much depreciation we're writing off. And I think if you take a look at that number, we had about $2,121,000 that we had depreciated in the electric light fund, $766,000 in the waterworks fund, $22,000 at the landfill, and $588,000 up at the airport, for a total of about $3.5 million. That has a lot of impact on your bottom line, and as you know, it's not an actual cash expense. We're just writing down the assets that we've acquired so we can get them off the books in their useful life. But I think that those are the areas that next year when you get the audit, kind of keep this and look at them, because even though 2012 was a decent year, I think it's going to pale in comparison to what we've done this year. This year is one of those years where it's going to be a phenomenal year when you get the audit. I think that everybody's going to be very, very pleased. But again, we had a strong audit, good numbers. We've recovered very well from the recession, and really can't find anything really bad about it at this point in time.
Thank you. Also was prepared an audit report general review. I encourage the city to take a look at that. And certainly it's a very positive audit, and it's important that the city takes a conservative viewpoint in the future with our expenses and also our reserves. I'd like to thank our city administration. They've done a wonderful job of keeping our expenses as low as possible, and certainly appreciate the work of the City Council in helping with that bottom line. So I'd like to make a motion tonight to approve the fiscal year of 2012 audit report as prepared by Whip Fly.
I have a motion by Alderman Putoff, second by Alderman Radke, for the approval of the fiscal year 2012 audit as prepared by Whipfly. Is there any discussion? I'll have a roll call vote. Clerk, call the roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Mankiewicz.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Perez.
Aye.
Radke. Mazak.
Aye.
Motion approved.
One other item, Your Honor, the Budget Director, Mr. Hyla, has presented the City Council with a proposed rough draft of the 2014 operating budget. Encourage all of the council members, their committees, to review those. It's not completed yet. It still needs a little work, but it gives you a general idea of what the budget will be for the future year. Thank you.
Dave, could I just add one thing to it? What you have in front of you tonight is just the general fund. And the reason I kind of wanted to get that out to everyone, because I think that fund is pretty important for all of the different committees, except, of course, the public utility. I think streets are very, very interested, you know, Dave and Jim would be very interested in seeing what's going on in the street area. But this is just the first piece of the puzzle. When you receive your financials for January, which you should have in 2 weeks, please compare your year-to-date to what our budget was this year. That's going to be the second piece of the puzzle. And as we go through the year, the budget process over the next 30 days, as we rough these out, we're going to get those to the appropriate committees so you're not deluged with one huge 70-page report to look at in a 2-week period before you're asked to approve it. So you should have plenty of time to take this in segments. And if you have any questions, please give me a call.
Your Honor, I believe that's all in the accounts and finance area.
Okay, we'll move to Public Works, Alderman Waldorf, Alderman Lukosius.
No electric report at this time, Your Honor.
Your Honor, under Water and Sewer, I have the City approved water and wastewater treatment plants report for December 2012. The total water we produced was 72.91 million gallons. At our East wastewater treatment plant, we treated almost 55 million gallons, and at our West plant, we treated almost 24 million gallons. So I will make a motion to receive this report and place it on file.
Second, Your Honor.
Been a motion by Alderman Waldorf, second by Alderman Lukosius, to receive the water and wastewater treatment plant report for December 2012 and place on file. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried.
Your Honor, I have the City approved water and wastewater treatment plants operations report for the year of 2012. There are a lot of numbers in here. I'm sure that somebody whose life revolves around water and wastewater treatment, this is compelling reading. If anyone has any questions about this report after reviewing it, Chris Pera of Test would be available to answer your questions at your convenience. I would like to make a motion that we receive this report and place it on file.
Second that, Your Honor.
Motion by Alderman Waldorf, second by Alderman Lukosius, to receive the water and wastewater treatment plant 2012 operations report and place on file. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried.
Superintendent Bleck, do you have anything? No. Chris, anything?
No, sir.
Mike? That's all I have, Your Honor. Thank you.
Public Health and Safety, Alderman Ferrari, Alderman Perez.
Yes, Your Honor, I have the Peru Fire Department report for pay period ending February 2nd, 2013. The Peru Fire Department responded to a total of 14 fire calls for this pay period. There was also one call which resulted in 8 hours of overtime pay. Total payroll for pay period ending February 2nd is $3,471.96. Total invoices sent out was $1,075.71. I'd like to make a motion to receive this report and place it on file.
Second, Your Honor.
Been a motion by Alderman Perez, second by Alderman Waldorf, to receive the Peru Fire Department report for period ending February 2nd, 2013 and place on file. Is there any discussion? Not all in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried.
Your Honor, I also have the Peru Police Department report. I'd like to make a motion we accept this report and place it on file.
Second, Your Honor.
Have a motion by Alderman Perez, second by Alderman Waldorf, to receive the approved Police Department 2012 annual report and place on file. Is there any discussion? Not all in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Your Honor, this evening we had a committee meeting, and Chief King from the Fire Department came in and gave a presentation regarding the Fire Department needing a new engine, and I'd like to have him talk on that a bit, and might take a couple minutes for that.
Thank you, Alderman. First of all, in 2013, our number of our engines, we have 3 engines. Engine 311 is 33 years old. Engine 312 is 27 years old, and engine 313 is 17 years old. We just got engine 311 back from its annual service, and the cab is cracking off the frame. We've put approximately $8,000 into this truck in the last 2 years. We're wasting a lot of money with this truck being this old. We can't replace the windshield wiper motors. They're both bad. They don't even make parts for them anymore. So we're in need of moving up and replacing our engine. A lot of things come in play when you look at replacing an engine. Looking at NFPA, NFPA recommends in general that a 10 to 15 year life expectancy you can get out of frontline pumping engine. We've gotten 33 out of this one, so that's a pretty good time. Not only are we looking at replacing this engine, but as Rodney put together our strategic 5-year plan, we're going to be looking at the next 5 years. The second engine is going to be right at 33 years old too. So now we'll be looking into the future, not only placing this one that we have to now, but another one in another 5 years, and that'll bring our house pretty current to what we need for our engines. But some things you look at, and other factors you look at, is personal safety, obsolete engines. But one of the bigger ones is the changes in national standards and federal mandates. NFPA 15, Standard on Fire Service Occupational Safety and Health Program, requires that all firefighters ride in enclosed cab in seated positions with their seat belts fastened. We follow those codes. We have to. Currently, 2 of our 3 engines do not have an enclosed cab. So this will be replacing that. Maintenance costs and performance, they're increasing quite a bit. One of the biggest things with Approved Fire Department, it's growing and changing department. Our manpower during the day is very limited. Right now, we're lucky we get 3 to 5 guys that show up during the day, and I'm talking during the day from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. Night times we don't have any problems, and weekends we don't have any problems. Our workforce works out of town, most of it. Probably 60% of it works out of town and during the day. So with our mission changing as far as the fire department, we're looking at pumper rescue, and what this truck will provide is we can do both services off of one truck. Right now, when we have a wreck, we're able to roll either the engine or the rescue truck. We can't get them both out of the door most of the time during the day. So this truck that we're looking at replacing with will have the capability of doing both with one engine. It's called engine rescue, so pumper rescue. So that's what we're looking at doing. We're asking the council to approve us to go and get costs. The nice thing about the truck that we're looking at, it's already on the state bid, so we'll eliminate the bidding process because we're already on the state bid. We're getting the best price we can get. Kind of the same way they operate with the police department and the squad cars, we can go to the state bid and get this engine. We've looked at several different manufacturers. We're right in the cost of $525,000 to replace an engine. Hopefully I can get it in less than that. I won't know that until I sit down and start ratifying some numbers. This process takes anywhere from 24 to 36 hours sitting down at a table and just going through item by item to figure out what we need, what we don't need, and where we're going with the expectations of this new engine. I'm hoping to get it down less than that, but right now we're coming to the council with this number because I feel that's a realistic number. So we get the permission to go forward. We're going to, with the council's approval and financing approval, we'll be looking at this new engine.
Chief, what's the lead time that you need on ordering one?
From the time that we actually decide this is what we want, it's 280 days before it would even be built. So we're looking. It's probably going to be, if we start this process say next week, we're probably looking at probably Christmas time or thereafter before we'll even be close to even seeing a truck. And this truck that we're looking at is built in Florida. We're we're kind of changing a little bit. The truck we're looking at is an E1, it's called. I'm sure you've probably seen it. They had a big special on the History Channel about how they build them and stuff like that. But very reputable company. It's in the top 3 company. So we're looking at that's what we're looking at. We've had E1 in the station twice now, and the consensus of all the firemen. I have 10 guys on a committee right now because I wanted to get them the best suggestion we could get. And I believe everybody, Jim, everybody has said they want to go with the C1. So, and that's the one that's on the state bid, which is good because then it takes some time away. So.
Great presentation. If it's okay with Alderman Ferrari, our committee would like to approve E1 to go ahead and drop a contract so we can see the final numbers, and then we would send that to finance to have them look at it once that's completed. So if that's okay, I'd like to go ahead and do that. So we're good with it. Go ahead and drop the numbers, see what we have, and then we'll go forward from there. Thank you.
It's not a contract then.
Well,
it's just
what
a
it is,
proposal.
The proposal, correct. Chief Burnby, do you have anything?
I have one really quick item. It's not a big ticket item, but I know you've been talking, or we've been told on and off for the past few years that we're going to start having, I guess, Illinois' version of trickle-down economics and affecting the local municipalities, the state. If you go to about the 7th page in under non-departmental, under page 1, there's 6 different $20 fees to the Illinois Department of Public Health. And this is the first time we've ever received these. We did a little investigation. Historically, we've had a first responder program. The fire department has a first responder program. EMTs are licensed. Every officer is licensed to operate a breathalyzer, things through the state of Illinois. And these are 6 first responder officers whose certifications recently expired, and it was time to renew them. And the state has never charged for this service because always the IBCH would have one of their RNs would inspect the squad cars and the equipment. There was no charge for that whatsoever. But now the state of Illinois has chosen to start charging municipalities if you have EMTs or you have first responders. They've, instead of letting the local hospitals and RNs at the facilities, the EMS people do the inspections, we literally had to wait for somebody to come out of Chicago to inspect our squad cars, and so they're going to be charging everybody. And as I said, every police officer is going to be charged for this. Every ambulance EMT in Illinois is going to start getting billed. Every police officer that's a firearms instructor, anything that we have certifications, they're going to start charging all the municipalities. And I checked with other departments, and they're starting to get those bills. This one's only $120, but over the course of a year, I bet our community is going to end up spending $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 just for Illinois to send us a piece of paper and hire people to come out of the city to come down and start doing inspections when IV was able to do it free of charge with somebody with a higher level of care. An RN was able to do it, and now a non-medical trained person to that level is going to do it. So just pretty bizarre to me. They're only $20, but it's going to add up across the state, and all that money is just getting pumped down to Springfield.
Chief, is this something we can get a hold of Martino on? And
no, these are fees that aren't even through the legislature. They give the power to the like Department of Public Health in this particular case to generate their revenue and that sort of thing. So it's these departments pretty much are told you better be self-sufficient and raise your fees, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah,
so
very.
There's probably more to come. Is what I'm suggesting to you, is I bet there's going to be some more mandates coming down on the locals, which affects the local taxpayer.
Very soon they'll be charging for the air we breathe in the state of Illinois.
only if they clean it up. Don't give them any ideas.
Anything further from Public Health and Safety?
I have nothing further, Your Honor.
Public Property, Alderman Ankiewicz, Alderman Mazak.
I have nothing, Your Honor. We have a meeting tomorrow night at 6:30 here at the municipal building with the Recreation Department. Other than that, I have nothing. All right, that's all, Your Honor.
Okay, reports of City Attorney.
Yes, Your Honor, there are a couple of hearings before the Plan Commission. All of you have copies of those minutes. The first was Route 251 development LLC, and that was just a petition to divide Lot 9 into Lot 9A containing .91 acres, and that is the lot upon which PetSmart is located, and Lot B, 9B, which would be 2.6 acres, that is presently undeveloped, vacant land. According to the testimony, I think the developer is selling Lot 9A to PetSmart, or at least they would then have the ability to do that. There are no present plans for the 2.6 acres, but Mr. Heights from Chamlin and Associates stated that their office has done some conceptual plans for a couple parties, but nobody's agreed on purchasing that lot or building a building to lease it yet.
Okay, we have a motion to accept the minutes of the planning and zoning meeting and place on file.
So move, Your Honor, and also to concur with their recommendation.
Second, Your Honor.
I have a motion by Alderman Radke, second by Alderman Putoff, to receive the minutes and concur with the recommendation. Is there any discussion? If not, all in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried.
We have an ordinance approving that re-subdivision plat be ordained final plat for the subdivision of Lot 9, Peru Marketplace Commercial Subdivision, First Edition, City of Peru, LaSalle County, Illinois. Copy which is here to attach is made by Kevin Heights, a professional land surveyor, dated December 12, 2012, under and by direction of the owner of the premises described and platted therein, shall be and the same is hereby approved and accepted.
Do you have a motion to accept the ordinance as written and read?
So moved, Your Honor.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Putoff, second by Alderman Radke, to accept the ordinance as written and read. Is there any discussion? If not, I'll have a roll call vote. Clerk, call the roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Mankiewicz.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Makoshes.
Aye.
Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mazak.
Motion approved.
The next was the joint hearing before the Plan Commission and the Zoning Board of Appeals concerning the petition of IVCH for the now vacant piece of property at 1403 6th Street. The IVCH asked for text amendment to the zoning ordinance to allow auxiliary medical facilities that support the existing hospital so long as located within 500 feet. That's all in an R3. The hospital's in an R3, as is most of the surrounding property, an R3 zoning district. And they asked for that text amendment to allow that as a permitted use. And then they desire to construct a 2,500 square foot medical building upon that property, and sought a number of variances under the petition, but after the hearing, they're going to add 10 feet onto that lot because the hospital owns all the property to the west of the subject property. So they don't need a variance on minimum lot area nor a variance on minimum lot width. And they are just requesting a variance on the south front yard setback, the east side yard, which would be butting the street, and the floor area ratio. But parking to serve that medical facility will be the existing parking lot to the west.
Your Honor, I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes and concur with their recommendation.
Second, Your Honor.
The motion by Alderman Waldorf, second by Alderman Nankiewicz, to accept the minutes of the Joint Plan Commission and Zoning Board and concur with their recommendation. Is there any discussion? If not, all in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried.
You have an amendment to the zoning ordinance 3817. Be it ordained, the following section of the zoning ordinance shall be and is hereby added, section 10.04A11, which would allow auxiliary medical facilities supporting an existing hospital so long as the same are within 500 feet of a lot containing a hospital, would now also be a permitted use under an R3 zoning district.
Your Honor, I'll make a motion that we accept the ordinance amending the zoning ordinance number 3817 in the city of Peru.
Second, Your Honor.
The motion by Alderman Waldorf, second by Alderman Nankiewicz, to accept the ordinance as written and read. Is there any discussion? If not, we'll have a roll call vote. Clerk, call the roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Nankiewicz.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Prokosius.
Aye.
Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mazak.
Aye.
Motion approved.
And you have an ordinance granting variances to accommodate that 2,500 square foot medical office building, be it ordained for that property at 1403 6th Street is granted a variance to reduce the south yard setback from not less than 25 feet as recorded in the zoning ordinance to 6 feet 8 inches. The east side yard setback from not less than 25 feet to 5 feet. And the floor area ratio is increased to 0.64 instead of not greater than 0.30 as required under the zoning ordinance.
Your Honor, I make a motion we accept the ordinance that grants the variances as written and read.
Second, Your Honor.
The motion by Alderman Nankiewicz, second by Alderman Waldorf, to accept the ordinance as written and read. Is there any discussion? If not, we'll have a roll call vote. Clerk, call the roll.
Alderman Putoff. Aye. Nankiewicz.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Prokosius.
Aye.
Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mazak.
Aye.
Motion approved. Now to the representative of IBCH, it looks like you have some work to do now. Thank you.
Next on the agenda was ordinance authorizing execution of the scavenger contract. I sent that to the Illinois Valley Waste Services Holding Company up in Rockford for execution and return together with the bond and insurance certificates, but I don't have it back yet. I emailed them again today and left a voicemail. But
Okay, then we'll just table that for tonight. Put it on the agenda again. Anything further?
no, Your Honor.
Okay, unfinished business. Do we have any unfinished business?
I have a question.
Alderman Mazak?
About I think a month ago or so, Alderman Waldorf asked if Mr. Vickery could come and speak about the economic development website, and if that was
It's in the works. He came down sick with the flu, like's been running around the area quite a bit, and then he was called out of town to Wisconsin to something for his son. But he is putting together a presentation, and he will be here. But that was, I believe, 3 weeks ago, and things happen. But he is putting something together, and he will be here.
There was a well-done presentation at the Finance Committee probably about 3 weeks ago where he kind of outlined some of the hits that we've been getting and some of the economic development potential that we have. And it again was very positive, and there are a lot of things, or a number of things that need to be closed-lipped too from a development standpoint. But yeah, I believe he's coming to upcoming meetings to kind of give a general overview of what's going on.
Are you speaking of hits from the new website? Is that what you're...
Yeah, I think hits, and also what he had discussed is developers actually contacting him about how the city can help with it. So.
Anything else under unfinished business?
Could we get an update on West Clocks? Is there anything moving on that at all?
Frank?
I talked to Mike Krug of Crew Place there, and he discussed maybe starting in 2 weeks. They don't need a notice of intent with the state since the asbestos abatement's been approved. But I have nothing concrete on it yet.
Anything else under unfinished? New business. Any new business? Nothing? Petitions, communications?
None, Your Honor.
None? Public comment? We have any public comment? Nothing? Okay, I'm not aware of a closed session. Do we need closed session for anything? Okay, then do we have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second, Your Honor.
The motion by Alderman Waldorf, second by Alderman Putoff for adjournment. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Meeting adjourned.